Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to Weaves of Waves. It was a stormy night, and oh boy, yeah, I'm gonna go and make sure everything's nailed down and hasn't blown away. Cat's still safe. He was safe inside, so it's all cool. But oh, not much sleep in the storms. It's also wet, so it's like. But oh dear. The thing is, you see, I like storms in a lot of ways because they force you to think. They make you go down into the darkness again. And the darkness for me is a place of power. It's like, yeah, once you know the road, there is like a spiral and you keep going round it. And the spiral will take you down to familiar paths and then take you someplace new. And you see, always with darkness, depression, sadness, grief, it's a spiral, and I am familiar with those. You know, after you've lived, I don't know, and gone through so many years of the same path, same but different, and you can see the paths you've been on, it's actually worth the spiral. So I'm reading a lot about people that are sort of very dark and depressed right now, and I would like to say, you know the terrain. You do. You know it just as well as I do. We know the terrain. We know the darkness. We've been there too many times. But we also know the route out. The route most of the time is just don't stop moving. If you stop moving and start looking at the scenery, you kind of get stuck in the whole miserable stuff. Like, who am I? What the fuck am I doing here? Why am I here? All of that stuff. And if you keep sticking on, you just stay. Yeah, that's where I watch people go downhill fast. You have to keep moving. Even if it's just moving the body, right? And every day, in every way, get a little better and better and better. All those freaking affirmations. But they have a point. If you stay put in your misery, depression, and a lot of the times you don't even know what the problem is. You know, it's just a dark heaviness. And I will always get out and I'll always do stuff. And it's like, well, I can sit with it for a while. I often think, well, it's a good thing to acknowledge the darkness and to see what it brings up. What's it bringing up? The usual things of self-esteem, insecurity, all of that stuff. But it's good to look at it and say, okay, this is where I am right now. Okay, right, time to move on. Right, next. Because if you stay still, yeah, you get stuck in that place, and it's not a good idea. And it's also never a good idea to make major decisions and life choices at that stage either. Stay away from alcohol and any other mind-altering substances. You know, the usual, like, don't do it. Because, yeah, you get stuck. And, yeah, it's not a good place. But the keep moving thing is about the only thing that I know that works every time. As long as you keep moving, keep going, just keep swimming. Yeah, that was a good movie. They're banning all the old movies because they're sexist and racist and stuff, and I think that's funny because we always knew they were sexist and racist, but we weren't kind of offended. Now, like, we're meant to be offended by it. Oh dear. I did watch the end of WandaVision. Now, I did a video a couple of weeks back on what the point. You know what? The last battle was pretty cool. They stuck to the rules and regulations. Usually when you have witches battling it out, I'm like rolling my eyes because it doesn't quite work out that way. But the old Agatha Harkness, she was a vampiric witch. And I'm like, okay. Because a vampire will always trump a witch, because if a witch is flinging energy around and a vampire just can steal that energy and it's food for them, so you're just feeding them. So, yeah, I kind of liked that character. She was a vampiric witch. She could feed off other people's energies. So, yeah, okay, Marvel, I stand down. I'm like, okay, I thought it was a load of rubbish, but actually it had some good points there. Keep it up. Yeah, so it's an interesting kettle of fish, the way things are being portrayed on the media. As I said, I don't do television, right? So I don't know about. I've never watched Good Morning Britain. I don't know. It's a Piers Morgan thing, and he's just been fired. No, he's just walked out. I don't watch all of those. So these people are just names. It's like Oprah Winfrey. Like, who the heck is she? She's an actress in The Colour Purple. I know that from my... So she's obviously come a long way since. So my ignorance is my shield here. I know nothing about the cultures that are societies, except what I pick up on various Twitter feeds and Facebook feeds and stuff. So I've often told my friends on Facebook, that you are my news. You know, you're the ones that keep... And I get it's not really a good source of news, but it keeps it occupied. I used to love YouTube on a lot of levels because you could find all kinds of strange things there. And they've all disappeared. It's really nasty. And yeah, my yesterday's YouTube had to be amended because they wouldn't upload. They wouldn't process it. Ooh. I don't know about these community standards, but I got the feeling that I'd triggered something with my words. Whoopsie. So yeah, I have opinions that wasn't allowed to be uploaded to YouTube, but it was on BitChute, and there is alternative platforms, and my website is coming along. I've got to get rid of an annoying pop-up thing that I put on my website and I don't know how to get rid of. So it's like, subscribe now, and it just comes up and you're like, how the freaking heck do you get rid of this? This is annoying for me, let alone anyone who goes onto my website. I do enjoy the website designing, and I do enjoy using my art skills. I've often moaned about this society on how I want to be an artist. I'm not bad. I can create, but there's no money in it. You know, it's like you have to be Billy Wiz to earn a living doing it, and you have to have a good network behind you. It's all sort of an old boys network, and a lot of boys aren't allowed in it either, so it's just who you know. And it's the same about the publishing industry. I could never get published. I did 3 books on Amazon. One of them's called Being a Psychic Vampire. I looked around for a publisher. Nobody was interested. Nobody was even willing to talk to me about it. So I ended up self-publishing, which I was very pleased at. At the time, it sorted everything out because nobody was willing to edit it for me. Nobody was willing. I didn't have any money, so unless you're willing to pay for it, you can't get a good thing. And yeah, that got me really cross. I got angry at the system because the system is like everybody turns their back on you unless you can afford it or unless you know somebody that knows somebody, and I don't know anybody. So yeah, the art world would have been something I'd love to have done, and what I'm doing now is creating products, and it's a company called Printful. Every time I look at the word, I see the word painful, but okay, it's a print and it's full of print, and they do you can put your design on a t-shirt or a towel or a phone cover or a rucksack, and then sell it on your website. Now, the theory's great. I have no idea how to market this, and I've marked them down price-wise as much as I am able. But yeah, I would love to be successful online some way. It would be nice to just have a something to do that is good, that people likes. I take my feedback from you guys. And yeah, if it wasn't for BitChute, I think I would have stopped doing this. But yeah, people are viewing my videos and I'm enjoying making them. So it's like, okay, it's not a hardship. And yeah, we just weather the storms, keep moving. Don't stop. Don't stop believing. Yeah, and all those songs. Actually, music is a good place as well because it keeps you going forward. Because if you stop and take look too much, you burst into tears, and then everything's wrong with the world, and it's not. Just keep moving, just keep swimming, just keep going forward. You know the terrain. You do. I would guarantee that anyone who's feeling miserable, dark, and depressed has probably been there before. If it's your first time there, just keep going. You'll get to know it's a mindset. And it's a depressing mindset, and it's anxious and stressful. It's all those keywords, and you just keep moving through it. You acknowledge the fact that that's where you are. Yep, okay, that's where I am. I'm not going to be. This too shall pass, and it does. It does pass. You've just got to keep moving. If you stop, then you could be swamped over and it gets almost impossible to come out. So you get stuck in the mud and it's not cool. But you're not alone either. You know, I've been, in theory, it looks like you are alone. right? But it's not. The actual practice is that there are lots of people with you in the darkness, okay? It feels like you're alone with this and nobody's ever felt this way, and yeah, it's never ever going to get better. But trust me, there are lots of people sitting beside you feeling exactly the same thing. And it's a matter of reaching out and connecting, because that's also important, however you reach out, but it's keep moving. Every day, in every way, you get better and better and better. It's all that stuff. And I had my auntie, she's an auntie of, like, she's nearly 100, I think. She's really old, but she says, you know, just keep moving a little bit every day. You'll get where you're going. And it's like, okay, I've heard this before, but thank you. So I will leave you to keep moving. I am keep moving. The storm is blowing. Let's keep moving through the storm. Okay, I love you lots. Take care of yourselves and each other.